Alright, here we are, day 2. We're going to work on this kind of bed cage contraption here. Again, this is leftovers of DOM tubing from the 4Runner that we are going to graft into a bed cage, and we'll see how this works. What we're looking at here, just got these pieces of wood holding it up right now, but I'm trying to put this center post right where the bump stop will be. And then again, this is just reused stuff. Ideally I'd like it to come down here where the shackle is, the shackle hanger, but I'm going to do a vertical bar right here, which will connect with I've already told you guys, but I just have it lightly bolted in, but as the tow hitch receiver from the 4Runner, it fits perfect right between the frame rails. And right now I'm thinking I'm going to keep that. We'll see how it goes. But alright, we got to work on this. So this frame rail sits lower here than right here, so I'm going to have to adjust for that. It was on some square tubing before, so I know this piece is perfectly square, but the frame not so much. You're gonna have to trim this down, probably trim it too much, and then it won't fit. And it's also a little high. I'm thinking I want this to be about 2 to 2.5 inches lower. So I'm going to have to take 2.5 inches out of this. So, here we go. Let's get started. Alright, so this is 1 inch taken out of that middle post. We're at 1.8, and the frame says it's at 1.2, so we're half a degree off. Alright, now we're at 1. Alright, so what do we need to do here to get this closer? Alright, now we're at 1.3. Maybe it was 1.3 before, I don't know. Can you guys see it? Because I can't. I'm trying to lift it here without going too much. Alright. Let's go this way. How about this? So 1.4. No, it's going the wrong way. Okay. So I need to grind that down slightly. Alright, let's do that. And that's good too, because it's a little high still. Still a little high for my likings. 20, sorry, I'm not showing you anything. We're at 21 inches. Seems a little high to me, but I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. So let's take a little bit off the back. Man, that thing is really close to coming in there. What if I had it connect right to there? Alright, we'll start with this. Take a little bit off of that. Alright, let's see how we did. Took a little bit off the rear, a little bit more, just a smidge off the middle one. Okay. We're at 0.3 this time. Let's see what we got. Okay, so the front is a little, there's the rear. Okay. Ooh. Alright, come on, baby. Okay. We came down a little bit. I don't know how these things work. Because now it's saying it's at 1.6. Right here it's telling me it's at 0.4. It's at 0.5. Okay. Take a little bit off this backside. Trim that down. Hopefully the whole thing slides down into place. Fingers crossed. Here we go. Alright, so gap looks great there. Gap is really close there, just a little trim in there. So a little bit more on that guy. And then we should fit. Now, let's check out level. 1.1. 1.4, sure. 1.3. 0.7. Or 1.8. I don't know. Let's go over here. Let's take a few more measurements and see what we're doing here. Okay, bottom of the frame. Can you see it? 1.4. Bottom of the frame over here. 0.4. 0.7. It's all over the place. 0.08. Okay. I don't know if that tells us anything. No clue what it's telling us, actually. What I know I'm going to do is take off a little schmidge right there. Alright, a little bit of grinding, and we are pretty dialed in right there. Really tight right there. Really tight right there. So, and we're at 1.3, which, who knows. We're looking pretty good on the height with the cab. That's good. And then we'll figure out bypass shocks, that kind of thing later. And then this is actually making me pretty happy right here. The line from the rear of the shackle hanger straight up there will be perfect. And that's where we'll cut the end of the truck off. Alright. I have another one of these made. I am going to cut it down to match these measurements. And this one will go on the far side. and the one I cut next will go on this side. And then, yeah, we'll hot glue this thing together. Okay, I got the second piece here. The one that's cut down is on top of the other one, so you can see a little bit better there. As a guide, I will trim them down to be the exact same size, and you guys can watch that. If you notice this cool face mask, I picked this up at Harbor Freight this morning. The chick there said I looked pretty studly in it. She actually said I looked like a badass. She didn't have any teeth, so you know she speaks the truth. So I bought it. Didn't need it, but I bought it. Alright, time lapse, here we go. Alright, test fit number 1. What do you think? What do you think the chances are it's going to fit the first time? I'm going to say 84%. Well, folks, even a blind squirrel can find one nut. Apparently, I found my nut today. Dang, that is pretty tight on the first cut. Alright, let's see if the wheels fall off the bus. With the angle finder. What? Okay, 0.8. 1.1, 0.6, sorry, see that on 0.7, 1.3. Okay, it appears we did a better job second time around. That was completely by accident for sure. No way I did that on my own. Man, that's tight. Sweet. Alright. Now the boring stuff. I'm going to grind, get some of this surface rust off. Alright, it's all mocked up. Good gaps, good gaps, good gaps, all the way around. 89.7, pretty darn close. Just gonna tack weld it in place. Let's see, yeah, see what kind of damage we can cause. Wondering if I should go back just a smidge. Boop, boop, boo. I don't know. No idea. I'm going to trim off the front edge to put another piece of metal on front of that. I don't know. Time lapse it. We'll see. Okay, tacked in place. They appear to be 90 degrees to the ground. Let's do a cross measurement. How do I want to do this? Let's start this way. You guys can't see me, so you'll just have to trust me. Oop, not good. 81.5. Alright, let's go to the other side. 81.5. Alright. Here we go. For all the marbles. Ouch, that's hot. $80.5. Did I measure that right? Oh god. 80.5. $81.5. No, no. 12.5. 3.5. Okay. 12.5. 3.5. So this tube, 3 3/4, tube's slightly shorter than the other one. Okay. Alright. That's doable. Don't do that. Emergency brake's not on. Rough estimate 42. Roughly. Ooh. Okay. 43. Okay, so the frame isn't square, or the frame tapers in. Okay, that's doable. Okay, okay. I think we're doable. $39 inches. 88. So these just need to be spread slightly out, which we'll do with the crossbar. Vertical piece, crossbar, or yeah, we'll figure that out later. All right, that's where we're gonna stop right now. We have the start of a bed cage just tacked in place, and it's not quite square, but we'll work on that another day. All right guys, see you later.